Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Charlie and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Charlie's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're familiar with the training equipment that we use, and Charlie's no different. So he's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and we're going to remind you how to use your equipment during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now Charlie's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Charlie, heel.
Charlie, heel.
Now at this point, Charlie has a job to do, and that is to remain even with your left leg during the course of your walks, not forging ahead or lagging behind, but looking up and paying attention to you. If you change direction, he should do the same. If Rich is talking to him, keeping him motivated, keeping that eye contact going. And each time that you stop your feet, he's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next commands. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, as you know, Charlie should be sitting nicely without being told to wait for his next command. And he's doing great automatic sits. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. Stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit-stay you can practice right indoors, and it's for 30 seconds to start, working all the way up to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he quickly walks all the way around him, getting all the way back to his shoulders where they started. Rich stops at Charlie's shoulders, and then he gives him another command. And Charlie is a happy snap. We have decided that we get more flies with sugar with him. So even though we're not usually, as you know, a treat-based school, occasionally with Charlie, a lot of motivation and a treat here or there goes a long way to keeping him focused, paying attention, and happy doing his commands. Rich is going to leave him in another sit-stay, and you're going to lengthen out the amount of time and distance that you can with him, working all the way up to being able to drop your leash, walk away, and leave him for 5 minutes. Now this time, instead of returning back to him, Rich is going to demonstrate the come on command. And of course with him, the object is to get him to come and sit and not to come and bowl you over. And back to heel and back sitting. And he's doing a great job with his heeling, nice automatic sits, good stays. Indoors, he can sit and stay for 2 or 3 minutes with the leash dropped. We're just doing this so that you can see what he knows on video on the leash. Rich calls him in. Oops, if he jumps, Rich tells him no and makes him sit. Then he goes back to heel and back sitting. Now the next series of commands that we're going to demonstrate for you are your down stays. I'm hoping that you're getting all of this because the battery is getting very cold and it's blinking at me. The first down we're going to do is the down from a heel position. So with him seated at your left, you're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 2 minutes, working up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he's going to walk quickly all the way around him. Now if he gets up, he makes him repeat it. Walk all the way around him back to heel, and then he gives him another command. He's going to demonstrate that down from a heel position again for you.
Down, stay,
Down and stay. Walks out to the end of his leash and turns to face him. This time he calls him out of that. Quickly has him sit and then return back to heel. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is you're down from a distance. Our camera certainly isn't liking this cold weather. This is the last command that we're going to be able to demonstrate for you. Rich is going to leave him in a sit-stay. He's going to turn to face him, and he's going to drop him into a down from a distance. That was very good, Charlie. So we've demonstrated for you all of Charlie's formal on-leash obedience commands. We'll be answering any questions that you have about him as an individual and his progress at home as you move forward. We want to thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and Happy New Year.